What's going on, everybody? St. R. Edwards back here again. Welcome to the Ski channel, Swift Coding for Everyone. In section 1.5 of the book, App Development with Swift, Everyone Can Code, it talks about Xcode. So I'm going to try to go through this whole section in one video, so just stay with me. Thank you for tuning in. What's going on, everybody? So go ahead and open up a new Xcode project. This is what we're going to do, all right? So if you remember, all you have to do is go to your dock, click on Xcode, and once you see the screen, instead of hitting playground like we've usually been doing, we'll just go to new project, okay? You can also go up to file, new, and then new project. So we'll click on that. And as you can see here, one of the first things you'll see at the very top is that we have iOS selected as the default template for us and a single view application. You also have Watch OS up here, tvOS, Mac OS, and cross-platform as well. But for now, we're just going to stick with iOS single view application. We'll click on Next, and we'll give it a name of just Getting Started. And what that is it's just basic your basic app name, that Apple would use for your project if we were actually going to publish this and stuff to the App Store. But for this project in 1.5, this is how they want us to do it. So we'll just do it this way, or you can name it whatever you want. Team name, you don't have to really worry about that. The development team. Organization name. If you have an organization, you can put that there, or you can just put your name there again. Organization identifier, so it's like the backwards URL, so it's com dot and whatever your company name is, or your name, you can say com dot your first and last name if you want, or just first name or nickname. And then in your bundle identifier, it's the same way, so it just combines all of that down here, as you can see. Language, make sure Swift is selected. And for core data, unit tests, and UI tests, we're going to leave that unchecked for now. We'll click Next. And we can save this to our projects file or anywhere you want to on your Mac. For Git repository, which is source control Git, we won't really go through that right now, but you can leave that unchecked as well. We won't need that for this project. So go ahead and hit Create. All right. So there are about 5 different main areas in Xcode, and Xcode is what you call integrated development environment, and you can do all kind of things in it. You can build your UI, you can add your code, submit apps to the App Store, and just so much more. You can debug, and there's a whole lot you can do in an integrated development environment. It's just more than a big text editor. This is a very powerful tool. All right, so one of the first areas, the biggest area in Xcode, and you can make this bigger if you want to. You can hit this green arrow or the green button up here, or you can just hit, any of the corners, and you can click and drag if you like. So the main area here is the editor area, and whatever you have selected right here on the left side in the navigation area, that's what's going to show up in the editor area. Okay. The second area is the toolbar. So you got so everything that's highlighted in gray up here, and we'll start here with the play button on the left side. So this builds and run your app. If everything is correct, it compiles your code, and if it's correct, it'll run it. If not, then it won't. It'll come back with errors. This is the stop button to obviously stop the app from running. Here is the active scheme. On the left side of the chevron is where you could select different targets. You can add new targets, so you can do like a Watch OS app, Mac OS app, all from one Xcode project. Okay. And on the right side of the chevron is where you will select the device that you want to run in the simulator. So right now we have iPhone 8 Plus selected. I just like going off the iPhone 8, so I'll just select that. And over here on the right side, you have the Show Standard Editor, which is what we're looking at here. So right here is the Assistant Editor, and this shows up when there's documentation for whatever file you selected. So for instance, we'll click on, so I'll go to Main Storyboard, and we'll click on this View Controller. And in this view controller, if we click on the asset or the assistant editor, you can see the actual view controller, the documentation or the document that's associated with this UI storyboard element. Our view controller pops up. All right, now to get back to the standard editor, all you got to do is click the button that we were just talking about, the show standard editor. And then you have the version editor. So if you were using Git or something like that, you can see the different editors. This way you have something to compare it against your source control. But right now we're not under source control. So we can go back to the standard editor. And then over here, these three buttons, you can hide or show the navigator. So over to the left is the navigator area. Down below is the debug area. That's a different area, a big area. And on the left and right side, you got your, you can hide the panes as well. So on the right side, this is where everything will print. This is the console over here on the right. And you can hide the console if you wanted to. And then on the left, you have the variables view, and your code will show up down there if needed, and you can hide that area if you wanted the console area to be bigger. And then the last big area is the utilities area, which is all of this down here. And you can add different elements to the storyboard, which is what we're looking at right now. Okay. So we'll go back to getting started. And with the target selected, you can see that right now our deployment info is on 11.2. So that's saying that whatever code, so whatever device that the user has, we are writing code, for that device. The deployment target is set at 11.2. Okay, so if they have anything lower or anything like that, they won't be able to use the device. So you can change it if you wanted to. You can select a lower deployment target, but it's always good to keep things updated and stick with the most recent version. And you can change all kind of stuff in this area. As you can see, you got the portrait and landscape orientation, left and right, upside down. You can do all kind of things there. You got your build settings, everything, capabilities. If you click on that, if you had an app that needed iCloud or push notifications, you can just toggle these buttons on and off. And you can also hit these triangles to kind of see what the different things mean. So you can do that as well. Up here in the Navigator area, we've got different folders. Right now we're looking at the Project Navigator. Here you got the Source Control Navigator. Then you got the Symbols Navigator. Find, you can find different text throughout your document, and you can rename it with the hourglass, or the magnifying glass, I should say. You've got your Issues Editor or Navigator. It'll show all your issues. You've got the Test Navigator, and you've also got the Debug and Breakpoint and Report Navigator as well. That's it for this lesson. Stay tuned for more.